Super Mario 3D World has 12 different worlds, and most of them have a good variety of levels within them. Since Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury is now out, I thought it would be a good idea to rank every world in Super Mario 3D World. Joining me today is BjornGmr, who will also be ranking the worlds with me.
Hey there, I'm Bjorn, welcome to this video.
Before we get started, only a small percentage of my viewers are subscribed to my channel, so make sure to subscribe to both me and BjornGmr. So without further ado, let's rank all of the worlds in Super Mario 3D World.
World Crown. To be honest, there's no real reason to put this world any higher on the list. World Crown only has 3 levels, 2 of them being little minigames, which can't really be called levels. These 2 minigames, being the Captain Toad and Mystery House stages, are both really tedious to do, because if you fail at any point, you have to go back to the very beginning. And then you have Champions Road, which is by far the most difficult level in the entire game. This world surely is memorable, but is it in a good way? Not really.
Number 11, World Mushroom. This world is definitely the most bland post-game world in Super Mario 3D World, since there really isn't anything interesting about it. All of the levels are just remixed versions of levels previously seen in the main game. I don't understand why these had to be separate levels, and I really think there should have been a challenge mode that consisted of a few of these remixed levels, rather than having a separate world for them.
10. World Flower. This world is only slightly better than World Mushroom, which is mainly because it has more levels. The levels themselves are pretty much just as bad as the ones from World Mushroom. However, World Flower does have one unique level, being Boss Blitz, which makes it slightly better than its predecessor. Is it a good world though? No.
Number 9, World 1. This world is the first decent world on the ranking, and it actually happens to be the first world in the entire game. Overall, the levels are pretty good throughout, but they are on the easy side since this is the first world after all. The levels themselves are a little more generic compared to the rest of the game, since it has the grassland theming akin to New Super Mario Bros. It also does a good job at introducing the main mechanics of the game in each level, such as Plessy and Plessy's Plunging Falls, and Captain Toad Goes Forth. Overall, this world has some good levels, but it's pretty decent overall due to its difficulty and generic design.
8. World 4. This world has some of the most iconic levels in the entire game, like Beat Block Skyway or Piranha Creeper Creek. It's also the first world to introduce the Fire Bros hideouts, which are nothing really special, and of course Boss Brawler, which is a pretty cool boss. Having that said, why is World 4 so short? It only has 6 main levels, which is even less than what World 3 has. And the unmentioned levels from this world are pretty forgettable compared to many other levels in the game, making this world more uninteresting than it needed to be.
Number 7, World 2. Overall, this world is pretty solid since it does have a few memorable levels, but it's definitely on the easy side. Contour Cannon, Double Cherry Pass, and Bowser's Bullet Bill Brigade are some of the memorable levels in this world, but like World 4, it is pretty short, only having 6 main levels. Out of those 6 levels, there are surprisingly aren't any forgettable levels, so that's why it's slightly better than World 4. Other than it being short, it's also desert themed, but only has one desert themed level, which is kind of weird.
6. World 5. Just like World 4, this world has some of the most memorable levels in the game, including Tricky Trappy's Theater, Sprawling Savannah, and of course the almighty Coin Express. The world itself looks very beautiful and interesting, and the purple tint works really well with the theme. The boss of this world, King Kathunk, is quite underwhelming, but the idea is pretty cool and he's definitely not forgettable, so certainly quite a solid world.
Number 5, World Castle. Ah yes, the traditional Bowser's Castle world. To a first-time player, this may seem like the final world in the game, but it's just the start of what Bowser has to offer in terms of worlds. The overall theme of the levels is consistent, since it's mostly castle or lava themed, which holds a better consistency than most of the other worlds in the game. The difficulty is also understandably ramped up with this world, because it's the second to last world in the main story of the game. My only problem with this world is that it's a little too generic compared to the rest of the worlds in this game, but that's not too much of a problem.
4. World 6. Up and in the Clouds. This world takes place in the sky, if that wasn't already obvious enough, and it starts off with one of the most memorable levels in the game, Clear Pipe Cruise. This world also has the Oriental themed hands-on hall, which is really creative, and the stressful but fun Fuzzy Flood Mine, and it also introduces Motley Boss Blob, which is, beside being the hardest boss in the game, also one of the best. Overall, a really nice world.
Number 3, World 3. This world probably has the most level varieties out of the main story in the game, and it's definitely a great world. This world consists of 8 full levels, 9 if you count Captain Toad, making it almost as long as the later worlds in the game. On top of that, it also includes a few iconic levels such as Snowball Park, Chain Link Charge, Shifty Boo Mansion, and the Bullet Bill Express. There's even a level inspired by Super Mario Kart, which is one of my favorite levels in the entire game. I mentioned before that the consistency is important, but in this context of World 3, variety makes sense, since this world is so memorable.
2. World Bowser. When people think of this world, they are most definitely thinking of the badass music, but that's not the only good thing about this world. It also consists of some of the most creative levels in the game, like Footlight Lane, A Beam in the Dark, Grumblop Volcano, and much more. The difficulty in this world starts to ramp up at quite a trackable pace, so if you fail anywhere, it's definitely your fault. And of course you can't forget the classic Bowser fight, where Bowser turns into a cat himself. This world is amazing.
Number 1, World Star. This is definitely one of the best post-game areas in the 3D Mario game, and the only post-game world in 3D World that is actually interesting. This world is space-themed, and is basically one big reference to Super Mario Galaxy, one of the best Mario games of all time. This is also the world where you can unlock Rosalina. While not my favorite Mario girl, she's still a great character to play as in 3D World. Many of the levels in the world are amazing and make use of the mechanics that were used in the main story, and also add some galaxy enemies. The aesthetic of this world is also really cool, and definitely our favorite in the game. Overall, 3D World has many different worlds, with a few being mediocre, while many others are excellent. What did you think of this ranking? What is your favorite world in Super Mario 3D World? Let me know down in the comments. And also, make sure to check out Bjorn's channel. And thank you for joining me.
No problem, dude. Thanks for having me on this channel.
Thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and make sure to check out my Discord server and Twitter if you want to. Goodbye!